vivre un jour en paix, si l'on pouvait espérer vivre un jour en paix.
Dans les grands lacs, yeah. Cette région serrée comme un paradis sur terre. Yeah. Scandale géologique. Région sous-développée sillée par des crimes.
Les assassinats
et les tribalismes.
Les préjugés.
They got you are everywhere, you can't escape to anywhere. My God, you are, so let's see what you thought you are good in doing things. There's a proverb in Yahweh that says, now the proverb is reversed. You are arrested already. Peace be upon you. Thanksgiving to God who gave us a chance to be standing here in front of you today. We are also grateful for Vision Jeunesse Nouvelle that granted us the opportunity to stand in front of you this morning. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Songa Bahati.
My name is Megate Melanzi.
My name is Tushila Tofi.
My name is NYAKIRIBA.
In this opportunity, we would like to deliver our speech entitled
Why
Till
now? Ladies and gentlemen, when I was young, I used to spend almost of my time with my grandmother who lived in a village. My grandmother used to tell me a lot of stories concerning my grandfather. Yes, of course, her husband. One day she told me about how her husband, my grandfather, was violent to her. He used to beat her, insult her, and chase her out of the house for no reason. Sadly, my grandmother told me that during her time, she had nothing to do with this kind of violence. So, she lived with this cruelty for over 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that this experience have not been through only my grandmother, but almost of the people all over the world in different places during their time. It is so sadly to say that this kind of violence is still happening in this modern world. Yes, modern world. I'm not here to tell you about the existence of this kind of violence, another one different to this, but also to give you the better way to stop it.
our diversity, our opportunity? How can I use our connection to deal with manipulation and the culture of violence in my community? This is understandable?
Yes. Diversity is quality of unique or different.
Opportunity is favorable of circumference of vocation.
Yes, of course, connection is when people with whom one is accounted, who one offer the influence. So manipulation is the act of controlling someone or something towards one or all advantage or profit.
Violence is an act of imposing physical forces intending to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something.
As we saw in drama, the connection were used to show criminals face, and at the finally criminals taken.
There is a similar case that happened in Kenya during 1998 in December. A man called Felix came home. It was during Christmas. He demanded a meat for his dinner that was not in the house. he beat his wife, and the wife was then damaged and paralyzed. He died 8 days after. Unlike the other cases in Kenya, this case was filmed by media and posted everywhere. So during the academic of 1999 was discussed in academic debates. And violence like this is not yet happening in Kenya or for small level.
Alright. About 100 teenagers are told lies about their lives. Manipulation is taking another level today. So, using connections, we can hand it together. Through sharing information about how bad manipulation is.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, connection can be used not only in the way of finding the wanted criminals, but also bringing out information about how bad manipulation and violence are to human beings and peace. So, as long as we are here, can use our connection as a weapon to fight against manipulation and violence. I remember about 20 years ago, it was difficult to tell people information, especially like 100 people, to tell information about things you are thinking of. But right now, you can, from your bed, you can tell them the information without calling them in a meeting.
So let's use this opportunity to deal with manipulation and the culture of violence. Surely, together we can. As a group, there's something that we thought of we can do, so to put what we are talking about into practice, so as to kick out peace into human lives forever. Creating pages on social medias, promoting them to engage many people all over the world, posting messages and information about types and kinds of violences, and suggesting appropriate ways of handling it will be used by us to give our hand to help the world to get out of the darkness of manipulation and the violence. Thank you.
I want to ask you, we all know that there are many people with disability such as blindness, deafness. What's your contribution to those people so that they can get your message?
There are so many ways and many types of connections, especially when we are talking about connections, we can refer to medias. There are radios, televisions, all of them uses sounds. Blind people can listen to the news. It is very difficult for them to see who violated them, but actually people around them can help them to know what's violence and people who violated them. Thank you so much.
Yes. You talked about many different types of violence. There are many types of violences, but you only focused on family violence. So what about discriminatory violence or sexual abuse? What will you do about it? Thank you.
All the violences are actually originated from domestic violences. All the other violences can be handled, I think. Of course, if we do the thing we talked about of giving information about types of violences and how we can handle it, people will learn a lot from what is violence, and there are some things that people think is not violence that we can teach about and know how to handle it through the appropriate way that we will suggest on those social media pages that people can use to handle it together. Thank you so much for your good question.
Actions you're going to take to handle violence and manipulation is through social media. Have you thought about people who cannot access the internet?
Because talking in our life, because many people they don't perform those on social media. But as long as we have a diversity in ours, we can create a group like Paint a community and we launch it everywhere without using social media if we can handle it.
We are in the world where we are stopping violence in the countries, in our homes and schools. My question is, as students, as youth, what's your contribution to other people, to the youth in stopping violence? In schools or homes, what's your ways to stop violence?
Some groups which is dealing about how to fight against violence. Like we used to play some comedy and other, like drawing some pictures which is related about violence.